In this video, I want to talk about why if you're a part-time seller, unless you're trying to go full-time, WhatNot is not really going to be a good place for you to focus your energy on selling. In this video, I want to talk about why that is. So WhatNot has been making a lot of effort to become a bigger player in the sports card world, which is really something to commend them for in a lot of ways. I mean, eBay has such a monopoly of the selling space that smaller businesses that are able to become big businesses in this space, it's rare. It doesn't happen that often. Maybe ComC has done it to a certain degree, WhatNot has done it to a certain degree, and they each have their own kind of niche and they each have their own kind of audience. So they do cater to a different group of people. So it makes sense that it exists. But the reason I don't think it's a great place to sell if you're a part-time seller, it essentially boils down to the same reason it's really difficult to build a YouTube channel and get viewers. You don't automatically have people watching your WhatNot store. When you start a WhatNot store, you could have the greatest inventory in the entirety of WhatNot, and you're not going to get anybody into your stream. You're going to make a lot of effort. Maybe one person comes in, two people come in, but they won't stay because they see there's one or two people in there, so they don't stick around. When I started on WhatNot, I put a handful of cards, like good cards, up onto my inventory, and then I started a stream at one point, and I knew I didn't want to do auctions at that time because I didn't know if there was a single person who was going to come in there. So I was basically doing a buy it now type of thing, but price them well. I priced them quite a bit less than what you could find them for on eBay, or, less than what the comps were for on eBay. I went in there and was like, okay, I'm going to see how this works. And my first time I did this, not a single person came in. I was by myself in that stream for, like half an hour before I was like, okay, never mind. And then next time I tried it again. And this time there was one person in there. Like I ended up getting into a nice conversation with this person. It was fine. It was fun. We talked about cards. We talked about like the childhood of growing cards. It was a nice one-on-one conversation. Didn't sell any cards or anything. But again, there was one person in the stream. While I was in there with this one person, there was a couple people who would jump in, would be in for like 30 seconds and then jump out. And what they were looking for, I didn't realize this at first, what they were really looking for was any giveaways. A lot of smaller channels that are trying to get an audience will have some sort of giveaway. And there's even a little tab that WhatNot has for giveaways. So I think what people were basically doing is they were jumping into the stream, looking at the giveaways tab, see if there was any options, jumping out of the stream, going on to other places. Because I think sometimes, the people who have less than 10 people in their audience, the giveaways, are more, you have a higher likelihood of being the one getting it. There's a lot of people who are just doing those giveaways in order to get an audience. So, sometimes I think a lot of people are looking for that. I wasn't up for doing that. I don't want to start giving things away, as the way to get people into my stream. Like if people are there regularly, I like the idea of a giveaway. Even in this YouTube channel, I did do a giveaway once upon a time. I should do another one at some point. I need to just figure out how to do it in a way that's actually useful. When I did a giveaway last time, it was like the least watched video I had made like for a really long span of time. So I need to figure out how to do that in a way that people actually will come in, so it's not just like potentially between 5 or 6 people, but there's actually, it's generating something. But anyway, it's getting off topic a little bit. WhatNot has made a lot of effort to, on YouTube you can see WhatNot advertisements pop up occasionally. WhatNot even, I think they might have had like a Super Bowl ad. I can't remember, but like they're becoming a bigger company. But the problem when a company becomes bigger is there's going to be some sellers in that space who put a lot of effort into really gathering a following. And there's a certain finite number of potential buyers in there at any given time. But if there's a handful of streams that are getting a lot of those customers into that stream, it's not necessarily true that they're going to be feeding off into other streams here and there. They're going to see, oh, there's 75 people in this stream. There's 125 people in this stream. I'm just going to check out these streams. There must be a reason why there's so many more people in there. The person who's selling who has one person or two people in there, it could be entirely true that their inventory is better. They could have a great deal, but nobody's finding it because it's just, they're going to where the crowds are. They assume that if the crowds are in this stream, that's where the deals are going to be. And so that's kind of how WhatNot works. So in order to build up a base of people who are coming to your streams, you have to put in the effort that you might put in to build a YouTube channel, for example. You have to either get the word out there in different ways through different social media platforms like this or Instagram or whatever. You have to have some other ways outside of WhatNot of connecting in to a community and pulling them into that space. And if you don't do that, it's difficult. It's going to take a long time and a lot of effort to gradually and slowly build up people who are coming into your card space. And that's really a difficult thing to do. I think it makes it's a much more difficult entry point than trying to sell on eBay or ComC. Now, if you're trying to go full time, I think WhatNot presents a great opportunity. You know, if you're actually going through the process of building up a customer base in different ways through social media or in-person things or at card shows or whatever it might be, and you are advertising for your WhatNot stream, and you have a way to pull people in so they know every, Friday at 3 p.m. or whatever, or 5 days a week or whatever it is that you're doing, they know they can go to your stream and you're going to be there and you're going to have a good price of things and you're going to have a good supply of things. Then maybe people will be coming regularly. But if you don't have a regular way outside of WhatNot to connect with that stream, it's going to take a lot of effort to get to the point where WhatNot is a good spot for you to sell. Now, that being said, there are some advantages still. I mean, the cards that you put up for sale, it's not just the stream. When I had my cards up for sale there, I think I never sold a single card through a stream, but I did sell a total of 10 cards or something, just through them sitting there on the marketplace and people finding them outside of the stream, just doing a kind of a search through the marketplace, through things that are for sale on WhatNot, and people can find it, just like they would find it through any other sports card market. But that's not the way that WhatNot is designed. That's not, that's not the way that's going to reliably find you a customer base. I did sell, I was on there for 10 months or something, and I did sell 10 cards. So maybe a card a month would sell through that kind of way. But and my cards were always, I'm always pricing my cards fairly to the market, giving it less than the market. I'm getting a lot of my inventory at a pretty good percentage of comps, so I'm willing to also let go of it at a pretty good percentage of comps and still make a profit and leave some meat on the bone for the next buyer if they're interested in doing a flip or something like this. So I tend to, a lot of my cards are pretty good prices. But yeah, so if you're really wanting to go full time, it's a nice way to kind of, consolidate some of your efforts to build up a customer base. WhatNot can be good for that. For that, WhatNot is better than eBay or ComC if you're really building a brand, because they get to know you. They get to know your brand. They get to know your person. eBay is kind of set up for a brand a little bit, but not for the most part. For the most part, it's people doing a search, and whatever your brand name is doesn't stand out. It's just one of many cards for sale. ComC is even, they're not set up at all to do your own personal branding. Like, you do have a port that's your cards for sale, but there's no easy way for people to just go naturally find that and look through your store. It doesn't really work that way on ComC at all. eBay a little bit better at building a brand, but even that is limited. But WhatNot is really set up to be helpful if you're building a brand, a personal brand around your personality. If it's actually you on the screen, so people are getting to know you, and that's a good way to build some rapport, to build some trust. If people are getting to know who you are. So if you're really trying to build like a full-time thing, or something that's, much like an everyday type of thing that you're willing to go in there, and you have the personality for it as well, then it can be great. Wonderful. But if you're just trying to sell cards, in your free time, after work, you have a little bit of time to post some cards, you have a little bit of time here and there to package the cards to sell. You don't have a whole lot of time, but you're just doing this here and there as a hobby. WhatNot is going to become a headache and a hassle quickly. Even eBay can become a headache and a hassle sometimes. If I'm trying to keep the inventory fresh, if I'm trying to keep cards in there regularly so I have people coming into my eBay store, even that takes a lot of time and energy, a lot more than something like ComC, which is one of the reasons I sell a lot on ComC, is because I can do it at my own pace whenever I want to. I can just gradually build up boxes of things to send their way, and then they do all the work for me. So it's one of the reasons I like that, because the amount of time I spend on trying to make a profit from my cards is so little, and it does slow down the pace of sales, a place like ComC. And I think WhatNot could speed up the pace of sales, even compared to eBay. It could probably be the fastest way to sell your cards, if, and that's a big if, that's like a year worth of building up your reputation to get to that point. If you haven't got to that point, it's not going to work that way. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Peace.